Now come to the third question, that is the placenta of human beings belongs to the category of. Now the question is, what is placenta, right? Placenta is the connecting link between the mother and the fetus, right? Placenta is a temporary endocrine structure actually. Placenta is temporary endocrine structure, right? Second one, we can say it is the modification of the uterine endometrium. Modification of uterine endometrium, right? Placenta is the temporary endocrine structure modification of uterine endometrium. A number of blood vessels are present in the placental region, right? As we know, that is the modification of uterine endometrium and it is the connecting link between the mother and the fetus. The number of blood vessels are present in the placental region. You can see here, right? That is the placenta, right? That is the placental part which is attached with the uterus and the fetus as well. That's why we say that placenta formation occurs through the mother and the fetal tissue both, right? That's why according to that we divided into two, that is the maternal placenta and the fetal placenta, right? The three tissues which are involved from the mother side and three tissues involved from the fetal side which forms the placenta, and they forms the 6 barriers actually, right? These are the 6 barriers. We can you can see here the number of the blood vessels are present in that placental region, and the umbilical cord is arises from that particular placental part, right? In which the number of blood vessels, that is the umbilical artery and the umbilical veins, are present, right? Clear? So this is the placenta actually. Now according to there are some differentiation of the placenta, right? According to the nature of the fetal membrane, according to the nature of fetal membrane, there are 3 types of placenta, right? There are 3 types of placenta in which we can say according to the nature of fetal membrane, there are 3 types of placenta in which we can say first one is the choriovitelline placenta, right? Second one is the chorioallantoic placenta and the third one is the chorionic placenta, right? So when we talk about the human type of human placentation, right? Human placenta, how many types of human placenta? So according to the nature of the fetal membrane, human placenta is the chorionic placenta, right? That is the chorionic placenta, which consists of the extra embryonic membrane chorion, right? Fetal itself form 4 extra embryonic membrane around him to protect from the desiccation and the any kind of the injury, right? So in these 4 layers, the yolk sac first formed, right, which is formed in the 3rd week to 3rd month. and they form the erythropoiesis occurs from 3rd week to 3rd month in the yolk sac. After that, right, and after the formation of the yolk sac, chorion is formed. Chorion, after the chorion, amnion, and after the amnion, the allantois is formed here, right? So according to that, chorionic placenta, right? Now, when we talk about the according to the intimacy between the fetal and maternal part of placenta, that means there are 3 tissues which are involved from the mother side, that is the uterine epithelium, uterine endothelium, right, and uterine blood vessels and all these things. So these are the 3 barriers from the mother side and 3 barriers from the fetal side, right? So same as that, according to that, human placenta is the there are there are the epitheliochorial placenta, syndesmochorial placenta, which is asked in the 2012 question paper, right? Then endotheliocorial placenta, then hemochorial placenta, right, and the hemoendothelial placenta, right? So when we talk about the human placenta, human belongs to the hemochorial placenta. Hemochorial placenta, right? Now come to the third one, that is according to the fate of the uterine wall at the time of birth. There are 3 types of placenta. First one is the non-deciduate placenta, second is the deciduate placenta, and the third one is the contradeciduate placenta, right? What is that decidua? Why we use that word? When the uterine tissue is ready to conceive the ready for the attachment and ready for the pregnancy, right? So that is called the decidua. We can say that is the part of the uterine tissue, right? That is the part of the uterine tissue which is called the decidua, and it is torn and passed out at the time of the parturition, right? So on the basis of that, if there is the loss of decidua, then it is called the deciduate placenta. If there is no loss of any uterine tissue, that is called non-deciduate placenta. And what will happen in contradeciduate? If the fetal part of the placenta is retained in the uterus, then that part absorbed here, right, absorbed there. Clear? So in that manner, the human placenta is the deciduate placenta. Right? And the last one is according to the appearance of the villi in the blastocyst, right? The human placenta is the metadiscoidal placenta. Human placenta belongs to metadiscoidal placenta, right? Human placenta belongs to the metadiscoidal placenta. So simple, the human placenta belongs to the category of these 4, and that syndesmochorial placenta is seen in the ungulates, the cow, buffalo, right, all these and this endotheliocorial placenta and the epitheliochorial placenta, right? That epitheliochorial placenta examples, they are present in the horse, pig, as gadha, right, donkey. Then endotheliocorial placenta. Endotheliocorial placenta examples are the tiger, fox, lion, mongoose, right? Syndesmochorial placenta, cow, sheep, goat, buffalo, right? Clear? So, and hemochorial placenta is present in the human, so the answer is A, but these are the another type of the placenta. Clear? Now come to the, you see some more informations you have to know about the placenta, that is, as I say that the placenta acts as a temporary endocrine structure, right? In third month of the pregnancy, that placenta formation is completed, right? And then placenta starts the secretion of the hormones like the estrogen, progesterone, right? HCG, that is human chorionic gonadotropin hormone, right? That is HPL, that is human placental lactogen, relaxin, right? All these hormones are secreted by the placenta after the third month. That's why a question is asked, if in a female if in a female after the third month and in fourth month of pregnancy, if we do the oophorectomy, that is surgical removal of ovary, then what will happen? Pregnancy is affected or not? In that case, pregnancy is not affected because or the hormonal level is balanced by the placenta, right? But when after the parturition and after some time when female wants to conceive the second pregnancy, then it is not possible due to the oophorectomy. Clear? Right? So that is more about the placenta, that is the temporary endocrine structure. It's very important, right? Then that HCG is the human chorionic gonadotropin hormone. It is the diagnostic feature of the pregnancy, right? Second, it is formed by the syncytiotrophoblasts cells, right? It is formed by the syncytiotrophoblasts cells, and it is the diagnostic test for the pregnancy, right? Now come to the next. The true coelom is a space between the body wall and the alimentary canal, and it is lined by, right? If we are talking about the true coelom, that it is made up of the mesoderm, right? It is lined by the mesoderm on both sides. Clear? So true coelom is the space between the body wall and the alimentary canal. It is lined by the mesoderm on both sides, right? Always remember, if in question it is talking about the true coelom, then it is talking about the mesodermal lining, right? So the answer of fourth question is the C. These mesoderm, ectoderm and the endoderm are the germinal layers which is formed in the late gastrulation stage, right? Which is formed in the late gastrulation stage. Now come to the next question. Match the column. In column 1, right, these are the egg membranes actually, and these are the examples, right? When we are talking about the primary egg membrane, right, that primary egg membrane is the vitelline membrane, zona pellucida and the zona radiata, right? That primary egg membrane is the vitelline membrane, zona pellucida and the zona radiata. That vitelline membrane is a jelly envelope, right? That vitelline membrane is the jelly envelope, that zona pellucida is present in the mammals, that zona pellucida is present as a primary egg membrane or primary membrane in the mammals, right, and zona radiata is present in the sharks and the reptiles, right, that zona radiata is present in the shark and reptiles, clear, as the primary egg membrane. So 1B, right, 1B is given in these three options, so that D option is cancelled. Now come to the secondary egg membrane. Secondary egg membrane, that is secondary egg membrane is chorion and the corona radiata, right, secondary egg membrane is chorion and the corona radiata. So 1B, 2C, and that chorion is present in present as the secondary membrane in the insect's egg, and that corona radiata present as secondary membrane in the mammals, right. The tertiary membrane, tertiary egg membrane, that is the shell, albumin and the jelly, right, and all these are present in the frog. That albuminous jelly or albuminous shell is present in the frog, right, and when we talk about the calcareous shell or the shell membrane or the egg white, it is present in the birds. Clear? And the fourth one, that is anti-fertilizant, it is produced by the sperm, exactly, right, this is the question of pre-medical. Sperm produces the anti-fertilizant and oocyte produces the fertilizant, right, sperm produces the anti-fertilizant and ovum produces the fertilizant, and both helps at the time of the fertilization, right, it helps when the fertilization cones are formed over the surface of the egg, right, then these the compatibility reaction between the sperm and the ovum occurs with the help of the fertilization, fertilizant and the anti-fertilizant, clear. So according to that, 1B in whole 3 secondary egg membrane, that is 2C only present in, so that is B and C option is cancelled. So answer is A, clear. Now come to the next question, match the column 1 and 2, right. First column belongs to the extra embryonic membranes, right, and second is their functions, right. As we know that first extra embryonic membrane is yolk sac, that second is chorion, then third is amnion and fourth one is the allantois, right. And what will happen, yolk sac helps in the nutrition, but remember one thing, in humans, in yolk sac only blood is filling, right. That's why that yolk sac is also known as the blood island, right, just due to the filling of the blood, and we get the nutrition from the our nutrient blood, right. So that's why, but in other animals in which yolk is present, in yolk sac, yolk is there for the nutrition, right. Then amnion helps to provide the protection from the desiccation and all the injuries, right, because amnion in amniotic bag is there, and amniotic bag is filled with the fluid in which the embryo lies, right. Third one is the chorion. Chorion is related with the respiration, right. Chorion is related with the respiration. It helps in the gaseous section, and allantois is related with the excretion, which helps in the excrete out of the excretory waste material from the fetal into the allantoin. Clear? So in that manner, first D in given 3, that D option is cancelled. 2C given in B and C, that A is also cancelled. Then 3B is given in C option, so the answer is C, right? When we talk about the human eggs, right, human egg is always alecythal. Remember this thing, that human egg is always alecythal. What is the meaning of alecythal? Actually, listen carefully. On the basis of amount of yolk, on the basis of amount of yolk, first the egg types are, first one is the alecythal, that is A, that means the absence, A, that means the absence, right? So absence of yolk, right, absence of yolk is alecythal, absence of yolk is alecythal, clear? And it is present in the humans. Human egg is type of the alecythal. When we talk about the second type, that is, so according to that question, the answer is the alecythal, right? According to that question, the answer is the alecythal, because human eggs are alecythal, right? Now come to that microlecythal. What does it mean? Split that word. Micro, that is small, minute in quantity, right? Lecythal, that is yolk. So small amount of yolk is present, right? Small amount of yolk is present. Examples are very important. So example is sea urchin and branchiostoma, right? Sea urchin and the branchiostoma, clear? Third is the macrolecythal, third is the mesolecythal. Split that word. Meso, that is related with the moderate, right? Meso, that is related with the moderate amount of the yolk. Moderate amount of yolk. So what is the mesolecythal? That is moderate amount of yolk is present in the mesolecythal egg, right? It is present in the, examples are the frog and other amphibians, right? And the last one is the macrolecythal, which is also known as the polylecythal, which is also known as the megalecythal, right? As its name suggests, macro, that is large amount, poly, that is many, and mega, that is large, right? So large amount of yolk is present, and the examples are the birds and the reptiles. Birds, that is avians, right? And the reptiles. So in that manner, these are the types of egg, right, on the basis of amount of yolk. Same as that, on the basis of distribution or type of egg is there, and on the basis of the presence and absence of shell, the types of egg is there, right? So the human egg is alecythal, right? When we talk about the human egg, so human egg is alecythal, right? Now come to the next one. Gonads are derived from the embryonic, right? So gonads are derived from the embryonic ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm. In the late gastrulation stage, we know that they are at the time of organogenesis, right? So that gonads are developed from the mesoderm, right? That gonads are developed from the mesoderm. These are the extra embryonic membranes, right? These ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm are the germinal layers which are formed in the late gastrulation stage. You can see here when the blastocele and blastula is formed, right? Then that is all these processes comes under the cleavage, right? It comes under the cleavage when the first stage is morula, then after that blastula and blastocyst is formed here, and in late gastrulation stage these ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm is formed, and after the formation of these three germinal layers, these three are called the germinal layers, right? The neurulation and the process of organogenesis start, and according to that, from the ectoderm these structures are formed, that mesoderm these structures are formed, and endoderm these structures are formed, and according to that question the gonads are developed from the mesoderm, right? The gonads are developed from the mesoderm, right? So in that way the answer of that question is the mesoderm. Come to the next question. Now come to that question. Next question is match the column, right? There are two columns in which these are the stages of the cleavage, that is morula, blastula, gastrula, and neurulation, that is the neurula, right? And the stages, at what stage which kind of structure is formed here, right? So see here that after the fertilization, when zygote is formed, right, in that particular zygote the cleavage start, right? Cleavage is start, and cleavage slowly the cells of compact, right, and differentiation is occur, then cavitation. So that is called the morula, right? Cleavage start, that is called the morula, which is the 8 cell stage, right? Differentiation is there, then trophoblast cells, that is blastulation, that cavitation process is formed, then zona hatching. That means what will happen here, the fertilization, that is the gastrulation start, right? Blastocyst formation, C, that is the inner cell mass, these are the trophoblast cells. Now what will happen, zona hatching, that means there is the attachment of the uterine, implantation occurs here, right? Implantation occurs here, and the cell mass differentiation occurs, so the trophoblast cells get flat, that hypoblast and epiblast is formed, right? Now what will happen, the blastopause, and that is the late blastulation stage, right? Now the gastrulation stages start here, gastrulation start here. What will happen, the neurulation is there, right? Endoderm, ectoderm, mesoderm is formed, mesoderm is spreading, chorionic extra embryonic membrane is formed, right, and amniotic sac enlargement. So what will happen here, in morula stage, morula is the 16 celled, actually it is 16 celled solid ball like structure. It looks like a mulberry, right? It looks like a mulberry, so it's a 16 celled solid ball like structure, right? So first one is the C. Then blastula is having the blastocele cavity, right? In blastulation that blastocele is formed, right? So 2D, in gastrulation 3 germinal layers are formed with the blastopore, and the archentron is formed, right? With the blastopore and archentron is formed. See here, that is the blastopore and the archentron, right? This is the archentron which is formed here in case of the blastulation, right? So the answer third, that is 3 germinal layers, 3 germinal layer is formed here. So the answer is third A. And neurula, that is the neural tube formation, right? In neurula, neural tube formation, that is the fourth one is B. So 1C is given in both, that is B and C cancelled. 2D only given in D option, so the answer is A. 2D, 3A. and fourth B. Yes, the answer is the D. Clear? Come to the next question, that is 10th. Which layer of blastocyst get attached to the endometrium, that is uterine endometrium, and which layer is differentiated to embryo respectively, right? We always know that according to these options, that is in all options, or the inner cell mass or the trophoblast is given, right? Inner cell mass is not attached with the uterine endometrium, it is attached with the trophoblast cells, right? And trophoblast never takes participate in the formation of the embryo proper, right? So A option is not correct, right? Then only trophoblast in both processes, no, this is not correct. And what will happen, you can see here, right? In both diagram, the trophoblast is attached with the, right, that trophoblast is attached with the uterine epithelium, right? These are the trophoblast cells, na? These are the trophoblast cells which are attached with the uterine epithelium, right? So that's why the endometrium and which layer is differentiated into the embryo respectively, then that inner cell mass is differentiated into the formation of the embryo respectively. You can see here also, right? And so in that manner, what will happen? The answer is C, the trophoblast and the inner cell mass, right? Now come to the next question. What is the correct sequence in the embryonic development? First one is the gametogenesis occur. After the gametogenesis, what will happen? The insemination. After the insemination, then fertilization, right? So in that, from fertilization, we will start the process of cleavage cancelled, right? After the fertilization, formation is zygote, and after the formation of zygote, cleavage start, right? And after the cleavage, first is morula, second is blastula, and third one is the gastrulation stage. So now what will happen? Fertilization, okay, zygote, okay, that is C is cancelled. After the formation of zygote, cleavage occur. So cleavage stages are that, so D is also cancelled, so answer is Bombay, right? Now come to the first month of the pregnancy. These are match the following. Next question, that is match the following. It is given month and development, in which month which part of the embryo is formed or the fetus is formed, right? In first month of pregnancy, what will form? In first month of pregnancy, heart is formed. That's why when the heartbeat is audible, then we will consider the pregnancy is live, right? So in first month of pregnancy, heart is formed, right? Second month of pregnancy, in second month of pregnancy, the formation of the limbs and the digits, right? So the answer is 2, 5. Third month, that is first trimester. In first trimester, most of the organ systems like the genital parts and they are formed, right? So it occurs in the third. Then fifth month, the first movement occurs at the fifth month, and appearance of the hairs all over the body, right? The fine hairs all over the body, lanugo, right? So that is the fourth. That is fifth month, fourth option, 2. And the sixth month and second trimester, body is covered with the hair, appearance of the eyelids and the eyelashes, right? So 1, 4 only given in one option. 1, 4, 2, 1, no, sorry, it is given in these two options, right? B and C. So A and D is cancelled. 1, 4 is given in 2 and 2, 5. So that is also cancelled. That is the answer is C. That is 1, 4, 2, 5, 3, 1, 4, 2 and 5, 3. Right? So these are the events which occurs in the three trimesters, or we can say in 9 months of the pregnancy, right? Now come to the next question, that is the signals of the fetal ejection reflex originates. What is that fetal ejection reflex? As we know that fetal complete its own developmental stages actually, right? Mother role is just to nourish the fetus, right? Just nourishment. Rest of the processes are completed by the fetal itself, right? Even if fetus does not want to come out after the completion of the gestation period, then we will not induce a normal labor pain, right? Sometimes fetus enjoy the intrauterine life, and they do not want to get outside of the mother's womb, right? And do not produce even fetal ejection reflex signals, right? So what will happen in that case? We will have to monitor the conditions, the movements are not obstructed, right? And the position of the umbilical cord and all these conditions are the normal, right? It's clear. So now what will happen? Signals of the fetal ejection reflex originates when due to the action of the oxytocin? No. Placenta? No. When fully developed fetus and placenta, right? So the answer is the C. Clear? Now come to the next 14th question. Epiblast and hypoblast respectively give rise to, epiblast give rise to the ectoderm and hypoblast give rise to the endoderm, right? So the answer is A. We can see here in that particular diagram, see here, that is the epiblast and the hypoblast, right? That epiblast give rise to the ectoderm and that hypoblast give rise to the endoderm, right? So this is the answer.